Hi everybody, it's Nick from the Open Floor Tech Circle here. I know Sarah's been doing some amazing work with getting people up and running with teaching classes online using Zoom, and Jenny's done some great work as well with getting people recording mixes with Mixcloud, and everybody's been chipping in and helping each other out, which is wonderful. And yeah, I was just wondering if there was anything else that that might be useful to people. So I thought I'd create this little video. It might be stuff here that maybe it's already, and there's been so much conversation, maybe this is already covered, I'm not sure, but just in case it isn't, I thought it might help. So the purpose of this video is for anyone who's got an external audio device like an S2 or a Z1, S4, or it could be another branded audio device that they use or could use with Traktor. Maybe they want to use a microphone connected to that device if it has a microphone input, or they want to use the controls on that to control Traktor, but you also want to get the good sound quality through Zoom. Because I think people have already figured out that in Traktor, to get good sound quality when you share your audio, you need to select the Zoom audio device. But when you do that, you then can't use your S2 or your Z1. So the way to get around that is to merge your Zoom audio device with your external audio device, your Z1, your S2, virtually on the computer. It's called creating an aggregate audio device. I'm going to show you how to do it on a Mac. You should also be able to do it on a Windows computer as well. To do it on Windows, you'll need something called ASIO for All. I'll share a link with instructions on how to create the aggregate device, both in a Mac and on a Windows computer. So hopefully both types of users will be able to get up and running with this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, let me share my screen with you so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so showing my screen, and so on a Mac, the first thing that you need to do is go to Finder, select Go, and open up Utilities. Once you've opened Utilities, select Audio MIDI Setup, and then you can see in all the different audio devices here. So I can see my Traktor Control S2. So just to say, that's already connected via USB to my computer, and it's turned on. And I've got a microphone plugged into it as well. But at the moment, I'm just using the microphone to speak to you now. In Zoom, I've selected the built-in microphone on the computer and the headphone socket on the computer as well. So that's what I'm listening to and what you're hearing me from at the moment. So you can see my Traktor Control S2, and I can also see the Zoom audio device, which is the device you need to select in Traktor when you share your audio to get that good sound quality. So let's combine these two into a single device. So if I click on this plus icon down here, I can create an aggregate device. And then if I tick the box to use the Traktor Control S2 and tick the box to use the Zoom audio device, both of those now are merged into this one aggregate device here. Just to say, I've also, where it says clock source here, I've selected the Traktor Control S2 as the clock source. Don't need to worry too much about clock sources. It's probably not really that relevant, but my gut feeling is it's probably best to have the Traktor Control S2 or your Z1 or other external audio device as the clock source. So this new aggregate device that combines these two is now here. And I'm going to rename it to give it something so it's obvious to me that it's a combination of those two things. So I'm going to call it Zoom S2 aggregate device. Okay, so that's all set up. I can minimize that now. And we can now open up Traktor. Doesn't matter which sound card I select at the beginning because it's going to be changed in a moment anyway. Okay, so in Traktor, I'm just going to push both of my channel faders all the way up now so that when we start playing music, we'll be able to hear it. But I'm actually going to turn the main volume all the way down. I'm actually going to turn it off for now. The reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to do a little sound check at the end, and it'll be to check the relative volume of my voice from the microphone and the relative volume of the music coming from Traktor, and I'm going to use this dial to adjust the relative levels. Okay, so now I'm going to go into settings, in the top right hand corner, the little cog in Traktor, and I'm going to select audio setup. Now it's defaulted to the Traktor S2 as the audio device for now. If I click on the drop down list, this Zoom audio device is the one that you need to select to get the good sound quality for people at the other end of your Zoom call. But you can now see that I've got this extra option here now, the Zoom S2 aggregate device, which combines this one and this one into one device that we've just created. So I'm going to select that as my audio device. And then I'm going to go to output routing, and I can, so this output monitor here, that's the headphone socket on my S2, or the headphone socket on your Z1 if you've got one of those. So I'm going to have a look at this drop down list, and headphones, that's what we want for that. These main left and right outputs, those are the actual audio sockets on the back of the S2, but they're not connected to anything because we're not using a PA system. So we won't be using those in this scenario. So what I will do, so this master output, which is what people will hear on the other end of the Zoom call, I'm going to select the Zoom S2 aggregate device 4 and 5, because that's the Zoom audio device's outputs. So we've got those selected there. Okay, so that's our device selected, our output routing all in place. I can close that down now. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and just go back to Zoom for a moment. Okay, so in Zoom, what I need to do now is click on the little arrows, the little arrow next to the microphone symbol in the bottom left of the screen. And I'm going to change the speaker from being the built-in speaker to being the Zoom S2 aggregate device that I've just created. And I'm also going to click on the little arrow again next to the microphone symbol, and I'm going to change the microphone from being the built-in microphone to, again, being the Zoom S2 aggregate device that I've created. And when I do that, you won't be able to hear me through the microphone built into the computer anymore, but you should be able to hear me through this microphone that I've got connected to my Zoom S2. Just going to turn that on the S2 actually, ready to go. Okay, so that should be in place, and let's switch microphones.
Okay, so you should hopefully now be able to hear me through this microphone instead. So in fact, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to test that. So I've emailed a link to this Zoom call to myself, and I've got my phone here. And on my phone, I've got a second pair of headphones attached to it. If you are going to do this to do a sound check, you need to make sure that you've got a second pair of headphones attached to your phone, because if you have two devices in the same room, both on a Zoom call, and they've not got headphones attached to them, you're going to have horrendous feedback. It'll be awful. The other way you could test this is you could buddy up with another teacher. I think people have been doing this already and talking about it already, and maybe do a little sound check with another teacher. And also, I would say it's definitely worth doing at the start of a class as well, doing a little sound check, making sure people are happy that they can hear the music okay and they can hear your voice relative to the music. So I'm going to go to my phone and join the call on my phone. Just take me a minute to do that. Okay. Okay, let's join the call. When I join the audio for a moment, there'll be some echo, but let me just mute the microphone on my phone. Okay, and then I'm going to put the headphones on that are attached to my phone and just check that I can hear the sound from this microphone going to people at the other end of the Zoom call. So I'm just going to test that now. Okay, so I've got the headphones that are attached to my phone on, and there's a delay, so it sounds a bit weird, but I can hear myself. So that's great. And I'm just going to switch back to the other headphones. Right. And now I'm going to share my audio from the computer so that people will be able to hear the music from Traktor. So I'm going to click on the green share icon at the bottom of the screen. And I'm going to select Advanced and Computer Sound Only, and then Share. And then I'm going to go back to Traktor. And I can use my Zoom S2 to select a track, and I can load it up. Sorry, my Control S2, and I can set that playing. And then, yeah, I'll just, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, at the moment, I've got the main volume turned down. Let me just turn it up a little bit so you start to hear a bit of music. And I'm going to switch back to the other headphones, the ones attached to my phone, so I can have a listen to what it sounds like for people at the other end of the call. Just going to do that now. Okay, so I can hear my voice, and let's bring up the volume. So I can hear the music, and I can turn up the main volume control at the top of the screen on Traktor to get a nice balance between the two. And yeah, that should work nicely. Okay, I'm just going to switch back. I'm going to turn the music down. And let me just go back to the Zoom call here. Let's end the call on my phone. Okay. Okay, so I hope that's been useful. Hopefully that will give you an idea of how you can use your external audio device and the Zoom audio device as well to get the best of both worlds when you're teaching your classes. Like I say, I'll post a link to how to set up the aggregate device on a Mac, but also on Windows as well. Yeah, if anybody's got any questions about this or anything else related to sound or Traktor, then please do get in touch, and I will do my best to get back to you. Okay. Thanks for listening.